Right, hello, I'm Tim Youngman from the MonkeyZoo project, and it's an absolute pleasure to come and talk to you guys today. I think all the people that have talked before, we've talked about stocks and shares, liquidity, but I think what we're really here for are monkey JPEGs. When it really comes down to it, let's not beat around the bush. We're talking about monkey JPEGs, and I think that's the future. So my talk is essentially about dynamic NFTs and how and why they're important, not just for the Chia ecosystem, but for, I think, a wider society thing. I think NFTs are going to be a big part of how our technology evolves within all aspects of industry. So I think when we look at how NFTs are now, we've got obviously non-fungible tokens. They're by nature non-fungible. They are limited in what they can do. They're immutable. There's no real adaptability to how we can interact with these things. They are perfect for some solutions, but I think there's a whole world out there that needs this technology, this kind of non-fungible nature of custody, but I think we need them to be more dynamic. Bear with me, wrong way. As you can see, we've got a few little pictures of monkeys on here. So the emergence of dynamic NFTs have really come from the last 2 or 3 years. We were kind of promised this world where NFTs are going to solve multiple different industries, and they're going to do this, and they're going to be there for tickets, and they're going to do all sorts of wonderful things. But the unfortunate reality is that the boom of NFTs sort of gave birth to this world of. Sorry, can you hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, so it kind of gave birth to this world of more gambling and unsavory side of the crypto world. But there is still a need for NFTs in the world, and I think the emergence of the dynamic NFT, will allow us to evolve metadata. It will enhance the user engagement, and much more broader applications can be kind of produced off the back of this kind of this technology. Some of the challenges then that have come before what we've created, or I like to think, are inside the EVM world. Dynamic NFTs kind of rely still on centralizing aspects. So you've still got dependence on centralizing servers, oracles, and it certainly compromises the decentralization of what Web3 is supposed to be about. We want our Web3 world to be a decentralized self-custody environment, and I think we were kind of missold that with the EVM world. So we've kind of gone ahead now and created what we call NFT Fusion, and that allows us to essentially fuse multiple different NFTs inside of a new NFT. And it's a trustless process, so everything is controlled by the user. There's on-chain composability, and it also maintains this provenance. What we want to see is, in the EVM world, we often see that dynamic NFTs are created, and if they want to change them, they'll burn them and create a new one, burn them, create a new one. Now, that sounds great, but you're destroying all the provenance and all of the kind of history of those assets as you go along. So what we've created is this kind of decentralized way of doing things, where we can bring in the NFTs inside of a new NFT. So you might have up to 25 NFTs all kind of bundled inside of another new NFT. And to maintain the provenance of that is you can actually defuse that puzzle, or defuse that coin, defuse that NFT, to allow all those original NFTs to come back to their original form. Okay, so within certainly what we're creating within the Fusion Zoo, that's just a way of maintaining all that provenance and keeping it on exactly what we were promised. Of course, we're all here because of the Chia blockchain, and the reason why I decided to kind of build and go down this path is because of how the Chia blockchain operates. Obviously, we've got a room full of people here that kind of understands how Chia work, but the secure coin set model, the UTXO like offer files, that atomic swap transaction, and the enhanced decentralization of how Chia operates gives us a much better chance of this technology actually making it outside of kind of the EVM world and into, slowly drift into what we call kind of Web 2. So I touched on this earlier, advantages over what already exists, okay? There's no need for oracles to do things. There's no need for centralizing servers to kind of be the middleman. We want to take away the middleman and allow the user to control their assets. As we all know, an NFT is essentially a smart contract owned by the owner of that NFT. So when we create an NFT, we create a smart contract. When it's sold or given to somebody else, that smart contract is then given to that person who has full control. Okay, so that's a very important part of how this operates, and we've kind of touched on in the past in various different ways about how Ethereum works and how you've got these kind of centralizing smart contracts. But with this, you've got real ownership, and I think that's important when it comes to certainly different things like gaming assets and maybe even more financial instruments that could be used this technology. And again, it preserves that NFT integrity and the provenance of all of your assets. So again, real-world applications. The MonkeyZoo project primarily are going to be using this technology for dynamic avatars and characters. The Fusion Zoo, which will be coming very, very, very soon, allows you to kind of take all of your assets from across the MonkeyZoo environment, across the whatever NFTs you own, and it will give you the chance to bring them in and manipulate those assets using the additional all your owned assets to create a new character, a new kind of image. And again, once you kind of press the fuse button, what will happen is all the NFTs that you're using will be locked inside of this one new NFT that you've created. So what you can imagine is you kind of got an NFT that holds all of your NFTs. They're floating around inside of there. And because you then have the option to defuse, you can then return all of those NFTs back out, and you've got this, you're back to square one. You're back to exactly where you've got. I think there's a whole world of applications that could use this technology. Again, evolving digital artwork, interactive gaming assets. One of the things we're kind of working on in the background right now is a TCG game that will allow us to kind of showcase this technology where you can upgrade and downgrade your playing cards within the gaming environment. And again, you're maintaining that provenance, and you actually own that. There's no sort of server-side ownership by myself or the MonkeyZoo project. It will be completely owned by you guys. Okay, the future of Fusion then. As you can see here, here's a little monkey that I've created kind of with the Fusion Zoo. And I think I've got a little laser here, hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. So essentially what you've got here is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NFTs, or 7 parts of MonkeyZoo NFTs that have kind of been locked together and fused to make this new character. Okay, so I think it's going to expand these creative possibilities. I think it's going to enhance these kind of adaptive digital experiences. And what we really want to see is the community take it and run with this. This technology is open source. There's an official chip. If you've got the know-how, then use the technology to however you see fit. I think there's multiple different avenues this can go down, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's lots of communities coming together to kind of combine resources. I think there's a multitude of different use cases for this tech. And finally, sending out some flowers to you guys. Certainly Gene and Bram and CNI. We've recently had the good news that we've was accepted and received a grant, a continuation grant to help us help us develop and build into this TCG. So big thanks out to CNI for helping us out with that. Lots of developers have worked on this project with us. Brig, who's not here today, the NFTR team, Clyde Wallace, Lucky 8, who wrote the Fusion puzzle. Too many to name. I don't want to start going down the road of naming people because I'll miss somebody and then I'll be in trouble. But you know, essentially Tom, our artist, Gordon, who's our sort of UK developer, so many people. And also the kind of support we've received from the very start of this project, which we started a couple of years ago. You know, the guys in the room here, people have come up and said, "Oh, I own a MonkeyZoo NFT," and I think that's a testament to how well we've been kind of received, and it kind of humbles me in a way that that you guys are showing that level of support. And I think when we go on, we've kind of touched on the community, and Jean mentioned it at the very start there, how this community is different. It's different to what's already out there. I kind of delve into other areas, and this is something special. And I think all you guys are a real credit to how it's going, how it's moving. You know, shout out to the Tang Gang and the wizards that are kind of that are onboarding these people, then coming in and learning about this technology, and the willingness to come and learn. So I think it's absolutely amazing. So. That's a very brief, kind of short presentation from myself, and thank you ever so much for listening to me. And I just want to lastly say, to see all these people come to this event, when we kind of started these kind of things a few years ago, like Food said, 6 people, 10 people, you know, we've got 80 to 100 people in this room now that are kind of interested in following the technology. So yeah, thanks to all you guys, and I will catch you soon.